Good morning, people from the outer webs and the fucking internets, all that shit. I'm here today and excuse that rain. That was some guy from Facebook trying to buy something that I'm selling. Anyway, well, I wish I could do better in keeping up with all the technical stuff that I've been doing, but usually don't have anybody to record me and or own a tripod, so that's pretty much the reason why I haven't really kept up with this. But if you guys could see in the previous video, this bolt was broken in there and I had to drill it out. And what I did, I used a stud instead with a nut coming up because just of the way I had to drill it really nasty because somebody had fucking JB welded that bolt in. And when I drilled to the bolt and I used my snap-on bolt extractors, my fucking snap-on bolt extractor broke inside of that shit. So I had to drill around it, and I made a bigger cavity, but it ended up being good because it was a really thick stud, and then I fucking also used that quick steel epoxy, like JB Weld style shit, to like really like smoothing out the top, mainly. Not really much holding it in, but smoothing out the top and obviously filling in all the holes that were left by the drill. It came out good. Torqued it to spec, didn't even fucking move. And I used some of this former gasket sealant. I found it to be really nice. Like, I left it all last night until it got real tacky. Like, just adjust it, and then today I just finished the tightening, and that's pretty much all it takes for a leak-free seal. So that's there, and then I have this covered, but right now it's uncovered because I'm videotaping it, obviously. But before someone asks me about dirt getting in there, as I say that, there's dirt in there. Funny. Well, there's the fucking thermostat, new one, and so that chrome or aluminum radiator that this guy bought for this car, the owner bought it. It's pretty dope, but it doesn't have a transmission cooler, and he's gonna go buy one or whatever. And I told him I had one, and this is out of a Ford F350 dually, which is pretty beefy, and it's gonna be nice for it. It's a 700 R4. I think it'll work fine, and if the lines fit on it, you can see here it says, I don't know if you could see it. There you go. It says Canada, and it says Ford F3, which, since I know it came out of F350 dually, I'm guessing the F3 means F350. I might be totally incorrect, but just that's where it's gonna go. I don't know. It might just kind of stand here, which is pretty dope because of the way the nose is shaped. That's just one of the sides, so I might just be able to put on the side or something. If not, I'm gonna have to like bend the lines and like make it be flat or in front of the radiator or whatever. I still gotta bend it, but I'm just happy that both of the lines fit, and it's one less thing to worry about, I guess. So there's a few more crucial things I gotta do. That part, I gotta drill a hole on the frame to be able to have the transmission shifter work. And then also I have to make a bar because that original bar that connects from the linkage to the actual column, that bar is way shorter than it's supposed to be. So, and I do have a bunch of like pieces of steel, like the little rebar or whatever, and any of that would work. I've done it before in many cars. Just kind of bend it to shape as you go. It's almost as if you were sculpturing, but not really. uh, yeah, and there it is, man. It's getting closer. I also gotta I gotta bring up the tank. So, in my experience with these type of tanks and using an electric fuel pump, due to clearance of the frame and the way the mechanical pump was sitting, we're not gonna use a mechanical pump. We're gonna use an electric pump. And most electric pumps are just push. They're not suction pumps. They just push the fuel that's already kind of like gravity fed to them. I don't know if it makes sense to you. And I found out through years that if the fucking tank has a feed through the top, like any GM tank would, I guess, and it sucks the gasoline out with a mechanical pump, it takes a lot of force on the pump, and it makes it last less. I think like Freiberger from fucking Roadkill had mentioned this too, but that's my theory anyway. I'm pretty sure it's pretty accurate because those pumps don't suck; they just push. And basically, that rambling was about that. I totally lost my train of thought here. I'm a little stoned, so just bear with me. Anyway, another point to that. Now, instead of using that top fucking feed, I'm gonna use this drain plug as my feed to the fucking line and the pump. That's what's gonna happen. And it's gonna be way more efficient, believe me. Because I don't ever see us really even wanting to drain the tank for any reason. If anything, I think you should get another tank because these old tanks just start rusting and they just wear away, but whatever, it's his car. Also, it's gonna be a returnless fucking system, but if you're going to add a return line, it could be through the top. So I gotta hang this fucking tank. I gotta hang it and run the line. But other than that, and the transmission thing, it's getting pretty fucking close to being drivable. I don't know what wheels and tires he wants to put on it. It's crazy because he wants me to sell him these are mine. And I had bought them a while back just for the adapters that I had to use for my Pontiac, which I don't want spokes on my Pontiac anymore. I want to get some rockets for it, but you know. I always tell people my fucking yeah, well, that was my fucking battery running out. Anyway, enough ranting. This is where the project stands. Thank you for watching if you did.